Andrea Picciotti-Bayer, director of the Conscience Project and fellow at the Institute for Human Ecology at the Catholic University of America, joins us now to talk about the midterm elections from a Catholic perspective. It's so great to have you here with us. What are you hearing from Catholics in your work at the Institute for Human Ecology? And tell us a little bit about your center's significance for the midterms.
Well, Montse, thanks for having me on. I'm hearing that people are very, very interested in what's going on in the midterms and beyond. And at the Institute for Human Ecology at the Catholic University, we want to help people become informed about what's being presented to them in the public square and tap into that great intellectual tradition that our Catholic Church has offered throughout the generations. We've got programming, we've got academic programs, as well as events, as well as our scholars and fellows are engaging in these hot topic issues with the media and trying to add and contribute to our conversations in order to, as Pope St. Leo XIII said upon the charge of the Catholic University of America, to give to the Republic her best citizens.
And you do this often, writing about legal issues that are facing the Catholic community. Andrea, the September EWTN Real Clear Opinion poll found that 34% of Catholics think inflation is the most important issue facing our nation. The economy and jobs are following that. Why aren't issues of morality higher on the list?
Well, I always think that polls give us a snapshot, and maybe it's a top priority. I know as a mother of many, I'm concerned about making my budget and meet with the needs of my family, but it doesn't mean that I'm not concerned about issues of religious freedom, the sanctity of life, human dignity. All of these issues are on the ballot in these midterm elections, and even after the elections, we need to hold our elected officials accountable and praise those that are advancing the common good.
You touched on something else that we did ask about in the polling. If voters are more or less likely to support a candidate who agrees with the overturning of Roe versus Wade, allowing each state to determine its own abortion policy. Those numbers are very close, hovering at 42% opposed and in favor, and 16% not sure. How do Catholic voters view the issue of abortion?
Well, I think that our Catholic Church gives us guidance. We know that the unborn are to be protected, both in our own homes and our families and in our society. And so the Supreme Court's decision passing this to the states is a really important wake-up call for all of us to be able to share the information that we have learned through our faith, through our church, about the dignity of all human beings from conception to natural death. And we're going to see this playing out in these midterm elections.
And the Catholic vote is mentioned, I say that in quotations. It's also mentioned because 1 in 5 Americans affiliate with the church in some way, even if they're not practicing. Is there really such a thing as the Catholic vote?
Well, I think if there is anything called the Catholic vote, it should be that Catholics take our responsibility as citizens seriously. We need to first be well informed of what's going on. And second, we need to engage. Civic engagement among Catholics is more important than ever. We need to be Catholics in the public square. And that will help both our society and our church to thrive.
Have Catholics done that in the past? Are they influencing the votes at the polls?
Well, I think our history in our country in particular shows incredible presence of Catholics since our founding up into recent times. And it should be the inspiration that each one of us take. We're not to be silenced. We're not to be despondent, for sure not to be despondent. And we shouldn't be dragged down by secularism advanced by progressives. And we also need to be mindful to avoid sectarianism. We are living in a beautiful pluralistic country, and we should be able to encourage people to pursue the truths that we know are founded in the Catholic Church.
One last question for you about the midterms and ballot initiatives. Kansas was a big failure for the pro-life movement, and everyone has their eyes turned to Proposition 1 in California, the no vote that could save a lot of lives. Is this something that you think is front and center for a lot of people, a lot of Catholics in particular?
Well, I think all of these states. I grew up in Michigan, and the issue of abortion is on the ballot there as well. We need to be paying attention to each of our states, state governor positions and elections, state attorney generals, and particularly there are a number of state Supreme Court positions that are up for vote. We need to be informed, and we need to take our concerns to the ballot and to the voting place with us.
Well, we look forward to hearing more about that from you. Thank you so much, Andrea.
Montse, thanks for having me on.
Such a pleasure. For more information on the upcoming election and our EWTN Real Clear Opinion poll on the election, check out our sister news organizations, the Catholic News Agency and the National Catholic Register.